Hey fellow Scream fans, it's Monday, April 18th, and I just figured that I would say a little bit about the new Scream movie that just came out, the fourth one. I'm a gigantic fan of the first three. The first one is, of course, the best. Nothing even comes close to it. And so when I went to go see it today with my mom, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I didn't really have high expectations because I don't know, it's been like 11 years, and how can you really top the first one? Because I just felt like the other two after the first one didn't, I don't know, they didn't quite live up. And so, I'm gonna adjust the light because my neighbor's staring at me. It's awkward. Wasn't impressed is all I have to say. Like, for starters, I feel like they didn't go for scariness at all. Like, there was nothing that would have made anyone jump, even if you're the biggest scaredy cat in the world, because I don't know, it just wasn't like the first one where you had people like popping out of doors and stuff. Like, that certainly didn't happen. I didn't like the killers at the end. I'm not going to say who they are just in case you haven't seen the movie yet, but I'm just going to say that I wasn't impressed with that person's performance at all. I felt like it was really put on and it wasn't genuine. It was like, I don't know, it looked to me as an actor pretending to be someone that was angry and unhinged versus actually being angry and unhinged. It kind of was just like all bad horror movies of someone getting revenge, but it wasn't very good. Something that I kind of did and didn't like was all of the callbacks in the movie, which are pretty much just like references to previous movies. There were a few lines that they like directly referenced the first movie. Like, one of my favorites was Adam Brody saying something about how you're not supposed to say that you'll be back because you'll see someone later with their eyes gouged out and their teeth knocked out. I literally laughed out loud for that line because I thought it was perfectly executed. Like, they put it in at the right time. It didn't seem forced like some of the other ones did. Another thing that bothered me was one of the characters, Trevor, was wearing the exact same thing that Sydney's dad was wearing in the first movie. I think they did that on purpose, but only like a true creeper like this kid over here would notice something like that, because in the end, like, the way that he was like in the closet all taped up and stuff like that, and like he fell on the floor, was exactly like they did in the first movie, and I don't know, wasn't really feeling it. Another thing that bothered me was Gale Weathers. Number one, Courtney Cox should not put Botox in her lips because she looked creepy, didn't look cute at all. But number two, I felt like they really were pushing the character to be this, like, sassy, fame-seeking biatch that, like, we all know Gale Weathers to be. But it just, you know, kind of wasn't really working, because it's, like, of maybe the 15 minutes of screen time that she did have, she's just, like, swearing, like, telling people, like, to get the fuck out of her way, and blah, 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 and it just, like, it wasn't the zesty Gale Weathers that we know and love. It was just this, like, forced bitchiness that just I wasn't feeling it at all. I did like that they kept the music kind of the same, like this. Yeah, it had a little bit of that in there, but yeah, I'd say just my biggest complaint is that it failed to reach the expectations of true fans, in the sense that they should have stopped after the third one. I'm not even sure that they should have made the third one because the ending was questionable. But yeah, if they make a fifth and a sixth movie, I certainly will not go see them. I'm not even going to buy this fourth one that came out because it was just like, it just wasn't good. Like, the whole beginning sequence was awful. I'm just not impressed. I'm fairly disappointed. So what I'm going to do is just pretend that it never happened. Scream 4, what Scream 4? It didn't happen, because nothing will ever be as good as the first one, and they should just stop while they're ahead, because they're just going to lose fans, because they've already kind of lost me, which is disappointing, but I'm just going to pretend that it never happened. So